Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Weird Science Manga and Anime Podcast feed. I'm here with my man Luke Hollywood. What up, Luke?
What up, Jim?
What up? And before we jump into this here episode, I should say, insert episode name here. You end up where we had been talking about this on the other podcast, even Manga Monday, and some of the reading clubs. Each of the reading clubs, after probably the end of next week, are going to be on their own feeds. And what that means is they're each going to be their own special little podcast that you'll then be able to go and subscribe to, hopefully all of them. But if not, whatever ones you're listening to.
Dealer's choice.
Yes, and this is something that we've been asked to do because of how cluttered up they get in that one feed or this one feed. Now, this feed will not go away. We'll still be having the old Manga Monday show. And as I said to Luke, it gives us a little breathing room on this feed to, who knows, do what? Probably be lazy. But with that, we'll see. It's always their potential there. Maybe. And doesn't everybody like that? But so what you will do, and in the show notes of all of the reading clubs going forward, and I think that we'll have this week and then next week we'll have chapters 12 and 13 of each of the manga will still remain on this feed as well, because the other feeds are already going. They're already up and running. But I will put a link in the show notes where you can go and you can click on, hopefully, like I said, all of them and subscribe to them all, but you can pick and choose. I would think that if you're listening to this, deal, you're liking the things. I hope, Luke. I don't know if you're liking them, but
crossed.
We'll see. But it is something that we wanted to do for a bit, and I figured out a way to do it. So, yeah, all this is us saying, hey, we're going to have these other feeds, all the reading clubs on their own podcast deal, and go and subscribe. And we'll talk about this again next week so that people will be on board.
Easy peasy.
And now Luke will be the hero of Ireland and the champion of leak slip. Is
Best
what
sweater
I
in
think
town.
he will be. Everybody, they'll carry him through town. They'll never let his feet touch the ground again because he is now St. Luke Hollywood.
But it's got a nice ring to it.
All because of just reading club podcasts. I don't know why, but I guess in leak slip, it's very easy to attain statehood. So with all of that, thanks for all that. And hopefully, again, you'll go and subscribe to all these. That is the hopes and the dreams. But with that, we'll go off now to this reading club.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science
is the revolution.
Weird science
is the revolution.
Weird science
is the revolution.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Chainsaw Man Manga Reading Club, part of the Weird Science Manga Family Podcast Networks of Things, right? I'm here with Luke Hollywood. What up, Luke?
What up, Jim?
What up? And here we are with one of our favorites, one of our favorite bangers of bangers, the Chainsaw Man. And we're actually going to have Denji in this chapter get his dreams fulfilled. But do they then become nightmares?
Oh, no.
I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm not telling. But before we go into that, please go over to the Twitters at Weird Manga. Follow us. We'll follow you back. And then go and check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Weird Science Manga, where you can get early access to a bunch of shows amongst the whole network podcast family, the Weird Science Manga podcast family, where you'll get early access to our reading clubs, including this Chainsaw Man reading club. And also, if you listen to our Manga Monday show on our main feed, you get up to 9 episodes early access of that as well. But we're here for the Chainsaw Man, one of our favorites. Also, by the end of this, we'll give our chapter of the week. We might be talking about it right now, but what are we talking about, Luke?
Well, this week we have the Chainsaw Man, chapter 12, Squeeze. Saucy.
Very saucy. I'm wondering that 76.1 shirt.
That's supposed to mean something? I don't know.
I keep thinking that it's like, hey, 76.1, where we play all the hits. Like it's some radio station or something. I don't get it. Or is that when the temperature's the hottest? Because if that is in Fahrenheit, which I wouldn't think it would be,
I hope it's
that's not that height. If it's in Celsius, holy moly, what are we doing? I mean, seriously, we're on the sun. But with all of that, you end up having Power say, listen, you ended up helping me out. She admits at one point, I wasn't going to let you squeeze my boobs. I really didn't care. I thought you would die. But and really, she would have. She was selling, the deal's Denji out to Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And so she says, but I'm going to let you squeeze my boobs 3 times. One squeeze.
Times?
Yeah. This is where, I don't know, you had one last bit to make me kind of sick to my stomach because it's 1 squeeze for saving Meowie, right? Okay, that's cool. 1 squeeze for killing the bat. All right.
Oh.
And then the 3rd squeeze for protecting me from Top Knot. And when that name is awful. It is so awful. It sounds like what they say about your butt cheeks and things like that, right? I didn't like it. But with that, she's like, just squeeze away, just do it. Doesn't seem like she cares that much about it, right, at first.
No.
So you end up where he's like, okay. And I thought he wasn't going to do it. I thought they'd be interrupted. I thought whatnot, but he does end up squeezing. I don't know if she's pretending at this point. Like, oh my, that feels so good.
Sounds like me when I'm talking. Jeez.
Exactly. I should get some of those, right? Well, I actually thought, and I said to you, Denji is learning how it is to kind of be married here. He grabs on the first time, and it is like the wedding night. That's honeymoon. And with that, I will even point out, because it's not even real, you end up having this padding comes out, pops out. Didn't you think that was going to be the end of it? That you end up where even the play of I don't want to squeeze anymore, and then Power gets upset and says, what, you don't like what I have here, whatever. Or he's just like, oh, that's kind of good. No, he doesn't stop. He just says, what are these? And she says, 'tis my breast pad.
Oh.
It makes my breast a look a bigger. And he's like, oh, okay. He looks at her. I thought that was it. I thought we were going to play that whole game of what the deal is, how this is playing. Also, it seems at this point, are they still in the house, right? They're there. Where's Aki? Because I want Aki to come walking in and going, what the heck is going on?
He needs to go to the toilet.
Yeah, so you end up where he goes to squeeze again. And now it's that's great. Keep a squeezing. And then the 3rd time, it's like, all right, are you done yet? She's basically falling asleep before it's even done with that. And that's where you have Denji down and out more than we've ever seen him. I mean, he ends up from here walking around like a zombie, not talking to anybody, just going through the motions because he's gotten his dream. And then with that Power goes, all right, you're done. Come on, Meowie, let's get the hell out of here.
Bedtime.
And walks away, right? And he's like, oh my God, that's all I wanted. There's so many things I wanted to say, but is that it? Was that just the deal?
Really?
And he goes off and he's like, he can't sleep, right? Then he's eating, lost his appetite.
Jeez.
He's walking. And I love, too, where he's walking through, town. They're heading to work, him and Power. Power won't shut the hell up. You can tell already. She's just yipping and yapping again, very much like marriage. Yipping and yapping in your ear. Why didn't you take out the garbage? When are you going to go food shop? Why can't you be like whatever guy that, whatever she likes? So you end up where, I'm telling you, it's like from experience. But yeah, they end up going and they have to fill out, and they're filling out reports where you have Makima trying to show Denji what paperwork is all about. Listen, this is what you have to do. It's kind of one of those, sad deals, realities of this business where when you do things, you're going to have to do more paperwork. It's like you're being punished for doing a good job. All this time, Denji hasn't said anything. I'm telling you, he has not just not said anything. I don't think he's blinked one time in a day. No. I mean, his eyes are wide open. And with that, swirly-eyed Makima realizes something's going on. What's wrong? Is something on your mind? Do you have something to say? And now we get even more sexiness. This is like the sexiest chapter here. But you go from here because, you end up, Denji's trying to do this deal. He's trying to do the work. But he is upset. And in my mind, when you do talk about it, the idea where it seemed like he was going to skirt the issue, just kind of not explain it, but he kind of does then. It's weird. He really is on Front Street about it more than I thought. I thought it was just going to be like, what happens when you get a dream and then it's not as great? And she just give him some things. Now he's like, hey, boobies, because that's all he cares about. But you go from there because you get a twist here.
Oh. Well, yeah, because he spills the beans, my dreams aren't all that now. Is life really just this what it is? Is this how it's going to be? And then he spills the beans. It was about the boobies. And then she drops the bomb that if you want to get physical, you got to get to know the person first. And then that's when the naughty stuff gets real good.
She starts straddling him.
She
right?
does some sus things here.
I mean, I guess her kink is for people to rub her ears. I think she's just playing out her dreams. I mean, we didn't realize. And now she's getting her dreams right now. Rubbing the ears, biting the fingers. I'm like, what are you up to?
Where's Sakuna? Like,
yeah, really. And so with that, you do have Denji's just blushing, fully deal. He doesn't know what to say. And boy, it would be like, hey, is that a gun in your pocket? Are you happy to see me, Denji? Is that a pull string on your pocket? Holy moly.
She says you should be able to recognize my bite even if you go blind. I'm like, in what scenario is that going to happen? I mean,
in my mind, I was thinking like, okay, when is that going to play out? Like all of a sudden, oh my God, my eyes are burned out. What am I going to do? She comes in. I mean, I'm telling you, if somehow my eyes are burned out, I might need you to do something than just bite my finger. Maybe say, what the heck's going on, dude? Here, I'll help you and get you new eyes. That's what I want to say. My ears still work. I don't need you biting my fingers, though. Whoa. I don't know. Maybe some people are into that. She seems to be. I mean, seriously, she's like kissing it and then I memorized it. Well, what the heck did you memorize? Tell you, I'll get my wife. I'm going to go up and, hey, Tanya, bite my finger. So if I go blind, I memorize that. She's like, I'm calling the police right now, or I'm taking you to the hospital. Right. So, yeah, he has to memorize that. But in that, like I said, it's like the movie Striptease going on or something there. Old people's Demi Moore movies.
In the middle of the library.
Holy moly. Yeah, really. I mean, this is going on. I wanted Aki to come in and play the deal where he comes in and just turns right around and leaves. Like, I'm out of here. Or there would be a cool little play that if Power saw them and got a little jealous. Then we've got some love triangle deal. But in this, we have the full twist then of, hey, now that you know me, maybe we could get the booby actions. I'm like, what is going on here? And seriously, this is what he wanted anyway. He kind of had love at first sight with Makima right away. And she was playing with him, we thought. Now, she is again. You can kind of tell, but whatever. I mean, these ladies are really using their wiles to get Denji. And in that Denji, it has like, I don't even know how I can say it in a podcast that's clean, but boy, he ends up having some issues then when he does grab the boobs, and now it means more, even though it seems like that was only like 30 seconds worth. Like, you got to get to know the ladies better. Come up and see me sometime, big boy. Okay, that's enough. Boobies. Oh my God. He flies out of his chair as if he's been shot by a cannon.
He's been shot by the love gun.
The love gun. That thing was fully loaded.
Bang, bang.
Holy moly. Bang, bang, indeed. Holy moly. I didn't realize. He ends up falling. He is shaking. I thought he was going to turn into Chainsaw Man, and then we'd have that weird play of when he ends up getting that excited. So he turns in, so he really can't have sex then or whatever, or he'll cut that, but that didn't happen.
No.
And then, yeah, if that's not bad enough, I mean, even then, I think he's having a heart attack. Poor Pachita heart, it is beating a mile a minute. He falls off the chair, he's shaking, and she comes up then as if she's going to kiss him. I know she won't because he's sweaty as all get up.
Yuck.
Actually looks like at that point, like, when did he get skin tabs? Holy moly, what happened there? He got that fucking mumps or measles. But yeah, he's like, oh my God, we're going to kiss. And then this is what she does. And it's like, oh, come on.
Leans in close.
Yeah, she's going to kiss and then says, I have a favor to ask you. Can I? And he's like, well, plant that favor right here, my lady. And she says, and it's so funny too. She's like, I have a favor to ask you. Okay. Yeah, I want you to kill the gun devil. Like, just boom.
No
and
biggie.
I thought that this was a funny deal because he says the gun devil. Is this a little social commentary? We don't get much of it as far as we know. There's a cultural difference, whatever. But it is a bit where the gun devil is in America. Some people could end up like, oh, I get it. But really, if you're going to have it somewhere, might as well. So you end up
Makes
where
sense.
this gun devil appeared 13 years ago. Its current location is unknown. It's powerful to all the devil hunters, and they want to kill it. They're all anxious about this. So it is something that has been around a while. Now, do you get the idea that she thinks that he's best suited as the, chainsaw man to go and get this? Or is it one of those like, if he dies, he dies. It's pretty much Drago in Rocky IV. If he dies, he dies. And it might be because she is playing him again. And with that, when he gets up, hopefully he doesn't get called to the blackboard anytime soon in class or whatever. And he better grab a book to cover some things and run off. And maybe go to the bathroom. I don't know. He can do what he wants, right? But you end up saying, I think you can pull it off, she says, because you're special. You're more special than the other.
Special chainsaw.
Devil hunters. Well, yeah, because he's kind of a devil himself. I get that. But I still think that she's just playing him up.
Oh, yeah.
And then
He's a lackey.
I love this, where first off, she is rubbing his thigh, I think, with her leg. I really think that she's rubbing. At first, I thought she's like, if you say no, I'm stomping on your balls. And you're
She's in a
trouble.
pretty tactical position
And
right
with
there.
that, I say balls because luckily he got all of his body parts back because at
There you
one
go,
point
bada
he
bing.
was half the man.
It's no longer on the market.
Yeah. So she's like, if you can kill the gun devil, maybe with that gun in your pants,
Bada
I'll
bing.
grant you any one wish.
Oh.
Okay. So she says this. He's
Willy
already
Wonka.
grabbed boobies. We know what's next. Yes. More toast and jam is what
Bada
it is.
bing.
But more of the jam. Oh my. I'm telling you, he ends up with like, holy crap. And they're playing this
Big
poor
dream.
kid right there. And so you end up where is this going to be able to be done? And what you always have, for a fact as we go. I don't know about this gun devil guy. Sounds scary. Well, I'll give you that one wish. I'm going to take you down, gun devil. Like he always gets fired up. So it is pretty good, but using him, it. You know that he's being used, but hey, I don't think he minds. And it is funny again where he was put down by Aki even about his, sordid dreams and why are you doing this? You're such a scumbag or whatever. And he kind of realized earlier with power, yeah, maybe I was, maybe it wasn't so special, but you turn it with the Makima that he wanted all along. So it looks like, and it'll be funny when you go and it's like, oh, I want you to be my girlfriends or something. You get this idea he's going to get down and dirty, but he's a nice guy. I think that the problem with this at this point, and it's not a problem because I still love it, but once you got rid of Pachita to go into the heart and into, you don't have that interplay to remind us how wholesome he is. At this point, he has kind of become, a perv. He's kind of become a horn dog throughout.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't mind getting that whole initial boobs and now a real boob touch. All right, let's get on with it. But he does seem like, and I think Makima realizes the way this plays out, he does need to have a dream of some sort of going forward, a goal. And so that's where she says that. And this is going to cause problems with Aki. And I do believe that Power will get a little jealous as well. But that's kind of the fun of it, the fun of the Threes Company shenanigans that we want more of, but off to do the Gun Devil, which is good too. We're not too much downtime. We get done one thing, we go to the next. I like the pacing. So what would you give it?
I thought this was solid. Perhaps the most sus chapter that we've ever read, Jim.
I don't know what happened.
We start off with groping, and then we get finger biting. I'm telling you, there's some weird
Seriously, would this have made it better? And would this have been beyond anything you'd imagine? That when she starts doing, Makima starts, he's drinking milk. He's got like a carton in his hand. And then when she does that and he grabs the boobs, he squeezes it and the milk goes flying all over.
It better go up his nose.
That would be hilarious, right? That would be really sus. But that's what I would have done because I'm a hack. But what is your score?
I thought it was solid. I'm looking forward to Gun Devil shenanigans, and at least we got a big dream going forward. So I'm going to go solid 8.5. I'm
going 8.5 as well. And with that, it is my chapter of the week. Me and you both were like, what did we give my hero? Whatever it is, I think that I like this chapter a little more because we do end up, okay, one thing's done. We saw a dream that really, little monkey paw to the boobies, that the idea of, maybe everything you wish for isn't as great. And that's, you have that in everything. Oh my, it's me with food. I see like a commercial. I got to have that burger. And then I get it. I'm like, oh, that was the worst. Or it's like meeting your heroes, stuff like that. And so you end up where, all dreams and wishes don't necessarily pan out the way that you wanted them to. Also, it reminds me of when you're a kid and you can't afford or get a lot of things and you ask for like a video game.
And it's not that good.
It's awful. And you're like, I just screwed myself. As a kid, the only time I could get games like that were birthday or Christmas. So, and my birthday's in July. So if I messed it up in December, then I'd have to wait till July to get another one. And that's where you start convincing yourself that game's the greatest, even though it stinks. Right? You're like, I love the Superman 64. It's the greatest.
Fly through the rings.
Oh my, go through the rings here, Superman. So yeah, 8.5, and it is my chapter of the week. It is yours as well.
Is it?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Right.
Is it? Do you know?
I can't remember what I gave My Hero. I think I'll go with My Hero.
You're going to go with that?
Ida, spotlight on the glasses.
Yeah.
I like that.
Ida was good. Exit guy Ida.
Exit sign Ida.
Exit sign Ida. And yeah, that's a good segue into the idea that now that the chapters are on their own deal, now that the individual books are on their own deal, you might want to go and subscribe to all of them, including the My Hero Academia one, so you know what we're talking about with Exit Sign Ida and stuff like that. And again, if it's one of those where, and I like the idea of the reading club because some people might, I never read My Hero. Well, that's why we're doing this. A lot of these we haven't read as well. Not Luke. He reads everything.
What?
But does he retain it? We don't know.
No, he doesn't.
Boon in one ear, out the other. In one ear, out the other butt. But you end up where you go and subscribing to do that. You can go in the show notes to this podcast and see the campsite bio where you click on that and it'll give you the links to go sign up for all the others and kind of get that deal. So that'd be cool. Also go over to Twitter at Weird Manga. Follow us. We'll follow you back. And then finally go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Weird Science, where we collect all the things from, as we call it now. What do we call it? The Weird Science podcast family of manga things, where you can go and get all of those, including early access to our reading clubs and up to 9 episodes of our Manga Monday show. So that's it. That's it for me and you for the whole week. Ooh. I'm going to go off and do some other things with the other guys that we do things with. But with you, you can go and sleep the night away. You can go to the pub, as you call that, I mean, that's what you call everything there. You're like, hey, the grocery store pub, church pub. It's all that.
That's good to be.
So with all that, thanks everybody for listening. Thank you, Luke, and we'll talk to you next week.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science
is the revolution.
Weird science
is the revolution.
Weird science
is the revolution.